What is up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. And as always, I thank you for taking the time and spending it here with me. If it is your first time here, welcome. My name's Lewis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, and please be sure to introduce yourself in the chat so that you can get the nice Camera Junkie crew welcome. And as always, tradition goes around here. First thing we do is check to see exactly who are the first ones in the chat. And right off the bat, we have Mr. Moderator Paul Duncan. How are you doing, sir? We also got James Hatcher in the house. Richard Sarkeesian. Okay, today we're doing live beta. And the first thing that I always do in my live streams is adjust the size of the comments. So because we're doing this in the live beta mode, we're gonna get into it. You know what, let me adjust my my stream deck here, configure, and let's see if we can get okay, that's looking good right now. So let's see if we can actually manipulate this. Okay. All right. So if that is working, that means that the rest of my buttons are working. Okay. Reason why that I had to do that was because my stream deck is set up for my live streams for my regular Ecamm, and right now I'm configuring it to the Ecamm beta, which is what I'm running tonight. And for that, we're gonna go right into live demo mode so you can see a little bit of the behind the scenes of what I'm dealing with. And that's what I was gonna talk about today. Is first thing on the docket is the new placeholder camera, or placeholder for the comments, not for the camera. All right, so right here we're gonna go add placeholder comment overlay. Bam. And now we're getting a generic one, which allows me to adjust so that I could adjust it the size that I want and set it up to size. Once that's there, now that's set so that any future comment that I click on, like Mr. Richard Sarkeesian saying, hey y'all, fits within that bracketry. I don't know, it's still looking a bit wider. Oh, it could be, because this is beta and we're doing it on the fly, that I had my scene locked. So let's go ahead and try that again. Overlays, placeholder, comments. Okay, that's actually looking more like the last comment that I had left. All right, that looks good. And now we're gonna lock it. We're gonna try that again. No, it's not the same size. So we're gonna see. That's why we're running the test on all this stuff. And mind you, for those of you who are not familiar, this is beta. What we're actively trying to do is find all the glitches in it. But there are too many awesome new features with the beta that I want to introduce, that I want to talk about, similar to like I did the last time that they released the beta with a lot of new features. So that was for Ecamm 4.0, and this is basically 4.1, and there's even more things that we're going to be adding to it. But let's go back to it. All right, we just quit live demo mode. And let's see if we got this. Paul is saying hi to Richard. Okay. It's looking better. As you can see, everybody's saying what's up to each other. Hello, Mr. Mods. How you doing, Mr. Sarkeesian? All right, and Paul is actually putting up there, yes, that. If you have a question, please put a Q colon, just like that. It'll help me find the questions for anything in the chat, just so that I don't miss it. We also have Marine X saying, door thoroughly kicked in. How are you doing, bro? Thanks for stopping by. All right, so we already got a little bit into it, and today we're going to be talking about Ecamm beta. If you're not even familiar with what this is, let me be the first one to introduce you to the wonderful world of Ecamm. Ecamm is a standalone program that runs on Mac computers that allows you to have a full production suite, from as simple as creating content recorded on your computer, live streaming, or to the levels where I take it, where I even do complete remote production for podcast and live streams. All of this is capable through the amazing power of Ecamm, and it also gives you the ability to connect a variety of different cameras and mediums to produce whatever it is that you're trying to produce. For example, I have multiple cameras throughout my setup, and I've labeled them. So now, if you were wondering what you were looking at, you could also see a little bit of the information. This is the iPhone XR, which I just have hovering above, giving like a behind the scenes or BTS look. This is my Sony a7R II with a 20mm lens, and then my go-to a6100 with the Sigma 16mm. All of this is done through this same program that I'm talking about, Ecamm. But if you become an Ecamm member, you also have the ability to participate and take part of the Ecamm beta group. So even though you have all the power of Ecamm, you also have a secondary beta program, and you use the same credentials to log in, and that gives you the power to do even more, because all of the new features that they're thinking or trying out to implement within the program, you will find first in beta, just like everything else. But the beta program for Ecamm is so good, better said, that you can use the beta as your everyday daily driver if you want to take advantage of a lot of these nuances and the new features ahead of time. So Ecamm allows us to basically put what you're seeing in front of you, which is a view of my camera, but then also you can see the floating graphics or the visual loop video that's behind me. Right in between, there's a thin semi-transparent border that I put between the camera and that background, and now we have even more to play with when it comes to the adjustability of those said borders. So let's go back into live demo mode again. And when you're inside looking at the BTS, you have this little pencil icon which allows you to edit. Once you click that edit, it gives you a lot more options, and this is where we can really start having some fun. Now, I have not gone through all of these to give you an exact run through of what is capable. I'm taking you along on the journey as well to show you exactly what we can do as I start pushing some buttons and figuring out all the new features of Ecamm Live Beta. Okay, so we have the borders. We have the border width. This is all similar stuff. If it's your first time here, well, let me break it down. Shape is the shape of your video. So if I want a classic view, I can change it. If I want a circle, I can change it. But we're going to leave it on wide. And we're going to be messing around with the border. I have the border width set to 5. So now if I want to expand that, we can. But as of right now, I'm going to be leaving it at that number, 5, because that's the size that I like. And let's see what we can do as far as more options go, because we have the ability to adjust our corners if we want them sharp or rounded off. And then we also have the ability to adjust the size, or like how round or how pointed those corners are in general. Excuse me. Testing, testing. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me now. That happened on the Rodecaster Pro, so here's a great demonstration of why you need moderators and why it's so amazing, because my audio levels were showing, except the simple fact that on the Rodecaster Pro, apparently I hit mute. So apologies. Don't know how long that's been going on, but let me just backtrack to the last major thing. Still muted? Hello? Yes. I'm still muted? I saw the first message. No. Okay, no problem, but I was on mute, so thank you. No, thank you. I was on mute. Thank you. All right. All right. Going back to it, that was a phone call from Mr. Paul Duncan, Mr. Moderator. As you can see, he's just the best. What can you say? I was on mute and he sent me a message that allowed me to fix it. And because of my live demo mode, I really can't see the audio aspect. So thank you to Paul, and why I recommend you finding a moderator within your own community. If not, maybe you could reach out to Mr. Moderator, because he's just the best. He's amazing. Well, going back to what I was saying was, we were going to talk about more options on this shot. Oh, okay. We're getting the same messages again. We're good now. Opacity. Opacity was what I was saying. I actually thought the opacity was basically on the border, but that's when you actually get into this menu here. So if you were to click on the color side of the border, right here at the bottom, you have the opacity, which is only based on the border. So if I wanted that purple to be full, saturation color, I would have it at 100%. But at 65, there's a transparency level that is what I like as far as the border goes. Then I saw more options and my mind went straight to like more options for the border and for my camera. But no, this is more options for the entire feed of your camera. So the opacity on the new slider here is for the entirety of the video, kind of like ghosting out. So that allows a transparency effect to be applied to the camera. And what I was saying was that 95, just giving this light glow of what's going on behind, is pretty interesting. Like I said, it could be distracting, but it's pretty interesting. And that's something that you can do right on the fly now. Now, rotation, we used to have rotation only available as a like 90-degree angles. So it's either like vertical on each side, kind of like the options that you have on an iPhone to quickly, rotate an image. But now we have the ability to rotate it in fine detail. So we can take this and we can take our images now and completely make them our own by adjusting even the most minute angles, which honestly, I think this is going to be one of the cooler features when it comes to making a particular look to either your broadcast, podcast, or live stream. One of the things that, that I'm going to try to do right now is apply this to, let's go back to here. I'm going to go to general and we're going to take this off for automatic 15 seconds. Actually, you know what? Make it 30. 30 should give me enough time. And that's just me narrating as I talk to myself. Okay. Now we have that done. We're going to go ahead and select a comment like this one from Gretchen. We have this unlocked and we're going to hit, boom, the little adjustments. And now we're going to take this and see if we can adjust it. What? Look at that. We gave that a little tilt. I like that. So now we lock this up, boom. And the next comment, boom, has that little slant onto it. So now, even though we're bringing comments on, we have the ability to rotate them slightly. And I don't know, I like that. It gives a nice aesthetic. I like that. And that's just literally like 2 degrees of tilt, and it makes such a huge difference. Okay, so let's go back to the camera settings here. Okay, we have the rotation. We're going to leave that as 0. Blend mode. For those of us who are familiar with blend modes in Photoshop and a variety of different creative programs, then this is going to come as nothing but second nature to you when it comes to the blend modes. So the blend modes that are available are darken, multiply, color burn, linear blur, lighten, screen, color dodge. All of these is what we're used to seeing, and that is gonna make so many things a possibility. Now Gretchen is one that's already been using this, and I haven't done so, but this is also going to give you the ability to take any image, even if it's a GIF or something with a green screen background, and remove the green screen and have it animated on your screen. All of this is done through simply selecting the correct blend mode. And let's see what it does if I darken the camera. Wow. Check that out. We multiply. Screen usually takes everything that's black or dark and removes it and makes that transparent. So seeming I have a pretty dark image, it allows for the light shine to come through, and I almost seem just like faded out into, you know, like into an opacity mode, so to speak. Wow, take a look at that. This is very interesting because if I were to take my background image now, and that's why I'm just highlighting this, take a look at how the light beams that are running across are being affected by the lights in the background. It's almost like they're taking on their glow and stretching them out. See, there's so many different things, and this is just by clicking buttons, right? We're just selecting these different methods of transferring or basically playing around with our images. That's interesting. That is some interesting colors going on. But let's say you didn't want this as your actual camera, you can still apply this to your background. So I can make my background this colorful and then throw my camera on top of it. So it gives you a lot of different options. That is so cool. Okay, well, let me just go back to normal. Okay, and then we also have the transition. So now we can put our transition to come in from a different location. So what would that matter? Let's put it fly from the top, right? That means that if I were to switch scenes like this, when I come to switch back, my camera is now gonna pop in from that area. So I chose the top, and now I come in from the top, right? So that's a transition, and all of that is built in now. Oh man. And drop shadows, let's go. What's up? So now we're going to select the drop shadow, and if you can notice just underneath the image, let me get out of live demo mode real quick. Okay, just so you can see right here, right at the bottom, the shadow of my actual camera is now present, and that's where I could adjust it, even adjust which side the drop shadow is applied to. So that's really cool. And the distance of the shadow. Dopeness. All right. But I know there was still some more options. Yeah. See, there's still so much that I need to learn because this is literally the first time that I'm playing around with this. So, all right, let me go back to the chat to see how you guys are doing. Hello, Randy. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. She said hi. Paul says reach out if you have issues. Yes. Okay, so that's where we got it. We're muted. Kevin Cox is in the house. How are you doing? All right. And K-Wall's also sneaking in. How you doing, Kathy? Randy says, by moving your video screen reminds me of the Batman series. Not sure which part that was. Says, I like the slat. Paul says you can say you dropped in. See, I don't know about you guys. I'm looking at it right after reading it here and seeing it, that little slant. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think that's going to stay like that. 2-degree angle tilt. But there's so many more things that we can do. So let's go ahead and start messing around with this. Now, there was a way to adjust the colors on the borders. So let's try to find out how we do that. Maybe Gretchen could let me know color. Okay. I'm not seeing it here. So you know what? Let's go ahead and let's try something new. We're going to try to create a new scene. Why would it select that? Source. Blank. There we go. And in the new scene. Oh, I'm not in live demo? I'm thinking I'm showing you guys all this stuff. Sorry. All right. Okay, so we added a camera. I'm gonna come here. We're gonna mess with the border. Let's make it bigger so that we can see it easier. And that's it. I had just selected color and I wasn't even looking. We have options now from color to gradient to motion. Gradient, obviously you might know what that is. If you don't, it's just the blending transition from one color to another in the most even way possible. So it gives you the ability to select the colors to use. So let's pick some bright colors. So let's go with white and a magenta. Okay, so magenta over here. Then over here we're gonna go with, actually let's do this one, magenta and white. Okay, so now as you can see, there's a gradient from the bottom, the magenta color to the white, and then the little circle right here gives you the ability to adjust what area, just like you would be able to rotate your image, you want the gradient to be in. So if you want it to be at an angle, as you can see now from this corner, it's more the pink magenta leading to the white border up top. But if I were to adjust it and change that angle, now you would see that the magenta is coming from this area and then turning into white here. That's the gradient aspect. but then you also have a motion, which is basically the same exact thing, except the gradient, as you can see now, is just in a continuous loop in motion, which brings a little bit of an animation to it. And I think it's like really cool. So let's go ahead and try to apply that to the other ones and see if we can add a different color scheme. So with that, now that we figured it out, the test scene, we're just going to remove it. 86 dot. Now we come here and we go back to this. We change from color to motion. See how that's looking. Very interesting. All right, we're gonna play around with that. What I did is basically just added another color. I had the purple in a 65% transparency mode so that you can still see what was going on beneath it, but then at the same time I added the white color and then dropped the opacity the same way down to 65 so that it could match the previous color. And now they're both 65% opacity, white and purple in a rotation. And I like the way that looks. There goes gradient giving me the information, saying, "Yep, you found it. Thank you." Boom. All right. There's such a laundry list of new features for Ecamm 4.1. I'm still just like scratching the surface because there's so much that's been added to it, and I'm really excited because this is gonna be a whole lot of fun. Another key feature that they added is, let me bring it up here, is this little guy right here. New shape overlay. Now, if you wanted to add shapes to make adjustments of any kind whatsoever, it is just that simple. And now through the same way, you have the ability to change from rectangle, circle, and squircle. This is still under beta. So under beta, you don't just, how could I say this? I am literally playing it safe. I'm going to mention this even though it's rumored that triangles are also going to be an available shape that we can mess with. But as you can see, we have the ability to have more options and all the controls over these shapes just the same way. So let's say you wanted to build the layout where, you had like a specific area for your comments and you wanted to block that out. You can do that with this by simply adjusting the shape and applying it to wherever you want. So let's say you wanted all your comments to be here. That's great. But then I also said, you know what? I had that 2 degree. Can you get 2? Oh, wow. There we go. That little 2 degree tilt. Excuse me. And basically you can have that built out right there just for you. We can drop a shadow on it. And let's bring the shadow to this area over here. Kind of throwing more towards, or kind of, let me explain this. My light source is right here to my left, right? So it's giving me more of that, the lighting effect coming in this direction. So I decided to take the drop shadow from this block and throw it in that same direction. So that's why I chose it on the bottom, so that would be where the shadow is, alluding that the light is coming from the upper left hand corner or upper right hand corner to you. Okay, and now with that being said, the color is white. Let's make that a purple. We could bring the opacity down the same way. Wow, we could add a border to it. We can do whatever we want. We can add the motion so that we have a gradient running around as well. We can make some spiky corners. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, so now just with that, right? Let's just say we leave that there. Now we basically have a location for the comments. Like when Sammy says, "What's up, everyone?" I can now take that and just adjust it just right so that we have our 2% and now it's our comments bubble. All of that can be done right, as you can see, right from Ecamm. That's pretty cool. I like that. And this is just me messing around. This is just like figuring it out. So if you wanted to, right, let's do something here. We can duplicate this scene. That's fine. And we select this here, right? But then we're going to take this and make that smaller. See? And adjust it. And now you have like that, you know, borders on border stuff. Gretchen says, it is too much fun playing with these new features. Okay. That's a mistake because that shouldn't be on top. So what did I do incorrectly? Oh, I know what I did. There you go. Boom. Yep. Let me see if you guys have any questions whatsoever about... Oh, that's not how you do it. About the Ecamm. Not yet. Okay. Well, this is a complete test scene, right? So we can do whatever we want. Basically, what I did was created a duplicate of the previous scene so that I can completely manipulate this scene, add, subtract, do whatever, and it's not really going to mess up any of my previous scenes because those are all kind of like locked into place. So even though that's there, this stays the same. So does this, so does this, and this. All right. So now let's go back to copy of the first scene and let's see what else we can do here. So we can add, we can do a lot. You know what? I'm going to ask as a feature request to be able to rotate the scenes and keep the camera within the frame. Okay, let me see if I could better explain myself. This is an amazing feature, the fact that I can take my camera and rotate it, right? But there are times that I want to rotate the camera, but actually not the camera itself. I want to rotate the image inside of the camera. So that would be the request, to have the ability to only rotate the image so that I can make fine-tune adjustments like this when people come in to get interviewed and their cameras are out of line. I don't know if that... It could just be me, right? And my OCD, you know, like anal retentive tendencies, my art. And that I want to be able to adjust the image the same way that I would do it at home. So for example, let's go back to the next scene, right? I go here, we're going to get out of live demo, and all you just see is this image. What I want to be able to do is to adjust the image rotation like so within the shot, because this will drive me crazy. See this whole crooked room, like, so when people show up to an interview, excuse me, wow, or let's say I'm producing something and they show up for the interview and they're crooked like this, I want to be able to have that same rotation adjustment, not of the frame itself, so that that stays within, you know, like the style of the program that we're recording, but to have the ability to adjust and fine tune to be able to, you know, adjust it, just the image within the inside. Let me get this right, because it's going to drive me crazy if I don't. There we go. So to be able to make that fine tune adjustment without rotating the entirety of the screen, so to speak, or the camera feed, is what I would like. Even though, man, this, let me know your thoughts on this, because this is growing on me, this little crooked camera. All right, so let's go back here, and I'm gonna reduplicate this scene. And all I'm gonna do here, yeah, okay, rotation. It jumps from 3 to 0. I want 2. The number dose. Oh. I'm being so anal right now. 2. There we go. 2. And why do I say 2? Yeah, you would have to make it smaller so that it could actually show an effect. Why would I say 2? For one reason. 1 degree will probably just look like a mistake. 2 degrees makes it intentional. I like it. And with the motion background, the motion border, I think this looks good. Let's see what else we got here. Hey, how you doing, Carlos? He says Ecamm keeps getting better. Yes, it does. Excuse me. It says reaching for the stars. Hey, John, how are you doing? Saying hello to the camera crew. Says we're all a little tired. Yes, that is the understatement. Gretchen knows because I complained about it today during gold class of how tired I have been as of late. Actually, I said tired. As you can see, I read that incorrectly because that says titled. That's so funny. I can't even read correctly today. James says, I can't wait to use that. Likewise. Gretchen says 3 degrees is my idea of perfect. Look at that. All right. All right. Well, with that being said, let's see how this is going to work, because this is not crooked, but it might be in the future. That wasn't what was supposed to happen. Let's go back. That's a pretty cool effect, but that's just me. I'm getting too deep into it. All right. From here, supposed to click here. Oh, it's off centered. So interesting. All right. All right. So we have Cities Gone. And that's not what we're supposed to be seeing. Neither is that. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. Boom. Film Riot. This week's City's God. Channels that I think you should go and watch. Now, if you haven't heard of Film Riot, I'd be surprised because these guys have been around for a long time. But if not, let me be the first to introduce you to an amazing YouTube channel. Whether it comes to you learning as far as editing, production, creating, every aspect of what we do on YouTube, you can find right here within Film Riot's YouTube channel. I can't begin to tell you all the nuances and different things that I've learned from this YouTube channel and continue to learn. Like this one, this Spider-Man effect thing, it's a hilarious bit that they did, but it's a great way to show how they're able to implement that cartoonification that's been very popular as of late for the most recent movies. But as you can see, whether it's the film look, right, Photoshop, AI, just basically anything to do with cameras, camera junkie-ism, right, the fact of like television production, filmmaking, everything. They don't really touch much on videography because this is more for the video aspect. But if you haven't heard of them before and haven't seen any of their videos, they're very like upbeat and also a bit comical, right? So that they're very entertaining at the same time that they're educational. So if you haven't done so already, I highly recommend you check out this week's Cities Gone, which is channels that I think you should go and watch. Film Riot. It's a riot. All right, and that's this week's Cities Gone, channels that I think you should go and watch. And we do that, and we bring it back over here. I see what's going on. Stream Deck is still thinking it's Ecamm instead of Ecamm Beta, so it's not clicking onto the program. Okay, let's see. Well, I think that's it, guys. There weren't really a lot of questions. I'm gonna see if there's anything else here within Ecamm that I can talk about before I go, but there's still so many more features. One thing is that I would recommend that if you for any reason were to basically remove one of these windows and can't find it, this is where you go. So going back to live demo mode, let's say here, right here, we click this button box and we remove the camera switcher window. So if you were not able to see the camera switcher window within your desktop, all you have to do is click that button there, right? But there's certain boxes or certain windows that if they close, they don't have an immediate button for you to bring them back into view. So for example, if we were to close out our scenes window for all of our scenes that we've set up, excuse me. So if we were to close out that scenes window with all of the scenes that we have set up, there is no button within the interface here that's going to give you the scenes back. You would actually have to go up into the menu and go into the window and find the scenes to bring that back. But why do I say that? Because all of the windows that you can use are here. So whether it's bandwidth statistics to show you how fast your stream is going and if it's a healthy stream, that is something that there's no button for, but can all be found through the Windows feature of Ecamm Live. So whether it's your sound level, sound effects, scenes, programs, preferences, anything that you need, you can be able to find it here and bring that up to the front so that you can utilize it. And that's where it really goes in depth as far as saying there's so many more things of Ecamm beta. And this was just released this week. So we're still all learning the new nuances of this program. And that's basically all I can say about that now. If you found this interesting and you want to start utilizing it yourself, you can start a 30-day free trial of Ecamm Live using the link in the description down below. And if you use the code MCJ30, actually, no, just MCJ. I'm getting confused with a different promo. If you use the code at checkout MCJ for Mr. Camera Junkie, you'll get your first 30 days free of Ecamm Live. Yep. Just confirming that with my brain. So you can go ahead and do that. And once you have your account with Ecamm, you can easily download the beta program and run them side by side, so that you want to do all of your work and production on something that you know is not even gonna give you a hitch at all. You can use just the Ecamm Live because it is rock solid. But if you're a little bit more adventurous and want to actually utilize some more of the up and coming features that we're all working on, and allowing the creators of this program to know if there's any issues with it, we'll be able to send them the information so that they can make the repairs to make this program the best that it possibly can be. And you will also be part of the Ecamm beta family. So not just the Ecamm Live fam, but also the beta fam. And you can utilize all of the standard production and all of the new nuances that are available through the beta program. So all of that through the same account. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to check the link down below. Another thing that I am working out with Ecamm is that if you also use my link, I'm going to be setting things up, and this is just for those of you who are here that are going to know, because once I actually get it working, I'm going to go ahead and give it the full beans, give it all the gas, which is that I'm going to be providing a one-on-one consultation as part of signing up with Ecamm through my link. So it's something that I can do to give back for anyone who uses my link, that they'll be able to book a 1-hour consultation with me so that we can set you up. And if you have any questions using Ecamm, I'll be happy to guide you on your new Ecamm venture. I am going completely dry. I don't know why, but it happens. But everyone, thank you for hanging out with me. As always, this is the best part of my week, and I'm glad that I was able to share a little bit of information here with you about Ecamm. Okay. James says these videos are super helpful. Thank you. Randy has a question. There will be a remote Ecamm like for a cell phone? You mean like a application? Ecamm app? That's nowhere near fruition. Let me just say that. Like, there is no plans to making it an application for mobile use. And I don't even see why you would need it. Now, that's just me. But as far as Ecamm goes, it's so that we can use the best of the best. Like right now I have my A6100, A7R2. We have a variety of different cameras, and they all need to be connected to the program so that the program could utilize it. I don't see how you would be connecting multiple cameras to an iPhone or to an Android or to a tablet. Now, if you need to utilize a live streaming service, then that's where I would just say, the camera or the service that you're going to use, whether it's Ecamm or whatever it is, not Ecamm, like YouTube, Instagram, they're going to take over the cameras that are built into your phone. So when it comes to live streaming from a phone or for something like that, I think that's pretty much set up. If you want to go mobile type that way, then that's when I would suggest what, forgetting the name of it right now. The man, it's like an A10 mini, and it's like a Ninja V, but also has the capacity to broadcast. Oh, I'm running such a brain fart right now. I know Tom Buck has a variety of different videos on it. And you know what? Let me see if I can pull it up. Just quick info. Let's see here. We're going to go to Tom Beasley's channel. Tom just blew by 125,000 subscribers. He's at 127. Congratulations. Let me see if I can. That's it, man. Oh, Kathy got it. As soon as I see it, I just saw your comment pop up saying YOLO with a question mark. Yes, the YOLO box. Yes, the YOLO box. That's exactly what I was talking about. So that's what I would say would be more feasible as far as connecting multiple cameras and stuff like that. But then if you're using a YOLO box, right, as an outdoor, like connection point, I actually think that if you want to use Ecamm, you're better off getting a laptop and using it that way. And that's why, for that reason, I don't see the real need to implement Ecamm to a mobile. But then just the last bit of information, it's two guys. It's Ken and Glenn. Excuse me again. They're the creators of this program, and they're the ones who make all the updates. So it's two twin brothers who've made this program, and they program for Mac computers. Their background is not building apps for iPhones, even though I think that's how they started, but for Palm Pilots. But I digress. This platform, this Ecamm, is built for the power of the new M1 computers and the hardware that's available to it. So as far as it becoming a mobile program, I don't ever see that happening. Yeah, I don't see the need or how it would even be implemented. Look at all the things that this program does, and that I'm talking about beta, and we're rotating screens and doing all these amazing animations, bringing comments like this. And yes, Kathy is very right. Aaron Parecki also has quite a few videos on the YOLO box. But yeah, that I don't see the exact void that's missing for that to be a thing. Now, if things change in the future, maybe. And that's like saying, who knows if Apple comes out with a camera that's dedicated or that connects wirelessly to your iPhone or vice versa, something like that, then maybe there might be a need. But as of right now, Ecamm mobile, yep, I don't see that happening anytime soon. But that's that. And Mr. Paul Duncan also putting here 30% discount if you use the code 23July30. Yeah, it can be combined with the other code. But that's available for the next 8 days till the end of this month. So don't worry about me. If you're interested in getting the program, I would highly recommend you get the biggest discount possible. And I would tell you to use the 23July30 code. That gets you a lot more than just the first 30 days off. Yep. Guys, I don't know what's going on. My throat is dry. And it just like keeps leaving me. But we've did it. We're past the 11 o'clock hour. Another amazing week. And as always, thank you all for hanging out here with me. If you're not aware, this was actually episode 138. Yep, that's 138 consecutive weeks of the Camera Junkie live stream with no stopping in sight. So if you haven't done so already, please mark down in your calendars, because we're going to be doing it all over again next week. Same time, same place, right here at the Camera Junkie live stream, or Camera Junkie channel, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday night without skipping a beat. So as always, thank you for hanging out here with me and making this the only place that I want to be on a Saturday night. And I wish you all an amazing week, and I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces as we do it again next week. So take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you next time. Talk to you.